Dun, 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 dun.
Maybe you have to keep the camera for a second after it's taken the photo
I
for it
don't know.
to stick, you know what I mean?
I do not know. What's the temperature now?
Bloody cold.
9 degrees, getting cold. But it's winter. I caught a little bit of blinking stream today. A few old faces around there. Jeff T. Rowe, Blue Waffles. Yeah, like going back a decade. But Linky's done remarkably well.
Yeah, she sounds really good actually.
Mm. Biscuit tin. This is what our magpies get. See, I don't think I saw Hoppy today.
No.
Big festival over the park. Celebration of NAIDOC Week, which is a celebration of Aboriginal culture. You went down for a little while, didn't you?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yep.
Breakfast with the grandkids. That was good. And about like going back in a time machine. 1970s retrofitted out cafe with all the Formica tables and the old stools. Yeah, it was good. Even every one of our plates, there was
It
what,
was all
5
different.
of us, and we all had 5 different plates. You can't get more shabby chic than that.
Yeah. Using that my word, shabby chic.
Well, that's the only way to describe it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I had a spearmint milkshake. Used to have them in the 70s. I was rather chuffed. Same sort of glass as we used to get them in. They must have done a lot of hunting around for...
Oh, those glasses you can buy now.
Oh no, that one looked pretty old.
They're the end thing.
That was a good day. I don't think anyone's awake yet. It's probably too early. What is the time, any idea?
It's like 9:30.
Half
Maybe
past
even
9. It's
Yeah.
late. My goodness. Oh, we'll make this a short one tonight. Just say good day to anyone that we know that's hanging around. Drama-free zone here. You want your drama? Go elsewhere. Hello, Missy. How are you? Mrs. Eads is playing her game over here. She's here.
Yeah.
But we had a good day today. Breakfast with the grandkids, a couple of them, and one of our daughter-in-laws. And it was all retro. Missy says, tell her hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
It's cool. And I'll look like a 1970s cafe. The food was presented in the 70s. Spearmint milkshake in those fluted old glasses. That was cool. It's good fun. But there's so many drama channels. I will flick in and flick out of them. It's like, who's arguing with who today?
Yeah.
And for what bloody reason?
Sometimes it's fun to do it.
No.
No, come on.
Boring.
Even yours sometimes.
But they just argue about nonsense.
Well, sometimes it happens when you do want to.
Oh yeah, that was a good game last night. Brilliant finish. Tonight, I don't know. That wicket looks very sticky, Kiwi. You know what I mean? I think Stark might run havoc amongst them, and Berendorf. But we'll see. I mean, at the moment it's in England's favour. 223 I don't know. Maybe it's a par score on that wicket. Because no one could get their timing right, if you know what I mean. No one in the Australian team batted with any confidence, and it'll flow onto the English side. So let's hope we can do the same that the Kiwis did. But yeah, no, great game last night. Good to see the Kiwis get through. If we don't get through, of course I'll be barracking for the Kiwis. Their bowling was superb last night. Really, really good. But we'll see. A couple of hours from now, we'll know. But I think that wicket's very sticky. I think they'll talk about the wicket after the game for sure, because it's holding up. There's been 2 or 3 dismissals in the Australian side. Yeah, no drama here, 180. Yeah, received notification. I rang a bell. You left a comment yesterday. Well, they might win. You never know, but that wicket's very sticky. You left a comment, Danny, the other day saying you're not live, so we went live straight away. And no Danny G. Waited hours. Well, not hours really, but you're here tonight. And you know there's something in the aeroplane at the moment. It's Texas, isn't it, where Danny is?
Yeah.
Can you remember?
Yep.
Texas bound. It'll be coming. Probably take a couple of weeks, but it'll be coming. So I didn't realise, but I've got now 1,500 subscribers. Unbelievable. I think that qualifies me for international stardom. You know what I mean? Just kidding. We'll have to do a giveaway. We're always giving stuff away. We'll think of something. Yeah, great game last night. I really enjoyed that. It was very tense. I'm not. No, I'm not. I know who I am. What's that movie, that famous quote? I know your face. Was that Anthony Hopkins in the movie, I think? Can't remember. Probably not. Yep, we'll do a 1,500 subscriber prize. What can you think of as a prize?
Packet of Tim Tams.
Nah. I don't know. We'll think of something. Say good day to the missus for a while.
Oh, hello, awesome.
It's awesome there.
Yeah.
See, I don't get to see all this. Nah. I've actually been on national television, Kiwi, in Australia,
Am I right to know?
1999, in front of 3 million people, and I took away $30,000. Who wants to be a millionaire? Know what I mean? Actually, it was the Channel 7 version. It was something like not Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, $1 million chance of a lifetime, I think that was called.
How you going, awesome?
It was good. Money for jam. It was the same weekend Tony Lockett kicked 1,000 goals.
After
I can't see, Hooker.
you what?
No? Now I can see her.
No, you saw her. Yeah.
She's absolutely fabulous.
That's sometime over the weekend or Monday or something. That what I was. I'll give you the what's the name? Awesome, the Reiki.
Hey, Hooker, is it true you're an awesome looker? Hey, Kiwi, I hope the Aussies can beat you in the grand final. Nah, it'll be a great game. You'll beat England, no question about it. Australia? Don't know. A good game. It'll be a fitting game, actually. We're talking about cricket also, just to ignore me and Kiwi.
They will.
But we took a couple of the grandkids out for breakfast this morning. It was great. A 1970s retro cafe The Formica tables, the old stools.
I tell you what, you've got a lot of bacon.
Yeah.
He had bacon awesome.
Gave me half a pig. Said, do you want a side of bacon? I said, I'm in Australia, just give me some bacon on my plate. And they said, all right. Yeah, honestly, they said side of bacon. I said, in the 1970s, no one said side of anything. Just chuck her on the plate, mate. They still don't say it here, do they?
What's
Do
that?
you want a side of fries? No. Yeah, the only thing we have a side of would be a salad. Just chilled out with friends and family. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to be on every day. We're not. We disappear back into the forest like naked nymphs. Yeah, the kids had a ball. Our granddaughter, she's a little bugger though. She had some of my bacon. She loves bacon, but you can't. If you try to order her something, she wouldn't eat it. But she'll pick off my plate. So I got a lot of bacon, but a lot of it went missing.
She's 3 years old, awesome.
Yeah.
And loves her bacon. Well, so does William, and he's 10.
Do-a-dee-dee-dee-dum-dee-dee-dum.
Yes, that's true, Danny G.
I can see Danny G, awesome hooker, and Sid's Angel, like the Bee Gees, walking down the street. Or the night at the Roxby. How's that music go, the Roxby? You like it?
Oh yeah, I can't remember though. I don't sing.
You do sing. You've been an international celebrity, singing on YouTube.
Yeah, we do.
I'm tempted, as boring as it will be. I've probably got a dozen songs on my channel, some way back. Tempted to do an album. I just call it Awesome. You know what I mean? But, I could call it Apocalypse Now, one of the two. VMAC is done for the work for the day. She's so exhausted, VMAC, because she licked my 3-year-old granddaughter's cupcake and claimed ownership. Actually, she took it home, didn't she?
Huh?
She didn't eat it all.
No, just took it home for her.
Yeah. Current temperature here is 9 degrees. That's it. What is love?
That's it, yes, awesome, you got it. That's a good song, right?
All fair in cupcakes and war. Seems that's fair enough.
Yeah, our granddaughter always wants like blueberry or raspberry or strawberry cupcakes.
But she does like that. If you're eating something, she's like, oh, just have a bit of that.
So she'd had breakfast before we went out because
Yeah.
like she's a little kid, she needed something when she got up. So she'd had a cupcake, a bit of bacon from Seeds and some toast from her mother on a plate. That's so funny.
But she does eat good stuff. She eats fruit, juice. Did you just take all the food home?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. She brought a heap of salad stuff around. Baits are great. It has tricks. Imagine being a vampire prostitute. Can you imagine that just for a moment?
Oh, I could just picture a movie with that pair.
See, a hooker and VMAC all dressed up with the red skirt. And
No. They said that their own parts.
and Vampire Max says, this one's mine. Yeah, vampire hookers, imagine them.
No, they can be two separate people. One's a vampire and the other's a hooker. What a movie.
No, you're not a hooker.
What a movie. Oh dear.
Actually, that would be funny if some guys got together and did skits, of whatever, musicians or funny situation. Bill Clinton, Hillary, what's her name? Monica Lewinsky. Monica Lewinsky's only claim to fame. She was a cigar salesman. famous incident. We won't talk about it. Mind you, I never really blamed Bill Clinton. I mean, have any of you seen Hillary?
Oh, come on.
Seriously?
That's mean.
She's nasty. She really is.
Yeah,
Cigar salesman?
I said the same thing, Awesome.
Come on, Awesome.
I don't quite understand it.
I'm sure everyone else gets it.
You bite the end off and spit.
Bill Clinton put it somewhere. Let's put it that way. Yeah, so we'll do a giveaway celebrating 15 million subscribers. Yeah, I embellished that a little bit. We'll think of it. Maybe a cigar. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I always found that quite funny. The only reason, I mean, let's be honest, impeaching someone like Nixon, who didn't get impeached, by the way, because he left. But Bill Clinton, what's his private life got to do with the presidency? I mean, we know what Nixon did. Hid everything, lied, cajoled. Because she was a young intern. There'd be millions like that, VMAC, and I'm not degrading women, but, you know, starstruck and all that sort of thing. Vice versa too, I reckon, men with women.
There's the ghost trade.
It's the Boyd Express. It's on time. Yeah, I mean, it was a moxie-oron, as I like to use the funny words. Nixon was not a good president at all. Some of the presidents that I think were good, you might think not, but I thought that Jimmy Carter wasn't a bad president. I thought Ronald Reagan wasn't a bad president. What am I saying? Well, there's been a few bad presidents. The Bush dynasty was awful.
Kiwi.
What was that?
If you're going to get your D's sucked,
Hello, Angel.
better to be a young intern than old wife. What's everybody doing today?
By the way, we've had lots of awful prime ministers in our country, so I'm not
Yes.
just selecting American leaders, trust me.
Yes, we
Most
have.
of them are a bunch of assholes.
What it's about?
What?
9:45 for most people.
What is it here?
9:45
Wow, I didn't know it was that late.
at night. Yeah.
Hey, we won't be doing a long hangout. I'm going to watch either Australia win or lose the cricket.
And Awesome will get on.
Yep.
Oh, it sent me a text. Ooh.
1:45 a.m. Yeah, but you'll watch the cricket, Kiwi. You want to know who you're playing. I don't know if the Poms have started batting yet. Must be soon. Mitchell Stark. That's where it'll begin or end for us. No, I'm not joking.
Yes.
No, VMaker works in reverse
Thank you,
too.
Awesome.
I mean, there's been 3 incidents in our politicians involving women taking advantage of, I don't know what you call them, press secretaries, do you know what I mean? That's what the name they give in here, not interns. But there's been 3 incidents. 2 lost their job over it.
What
So
here?
no, it's not a laughing matter, but just it happens, is what I'm saying. Yeah. There was a famous incident on the desk in one of the ministerial rooms. You can't do that on taxpayers' money. But I don't trust hardly any politicians, I'll be honest with you. They seem like they're starry-eyed when they first start out and they want to change the world. Then they get in there and go, oh, there's a few little perks going on here. Yeah, I'm not either Republican or Democrat, but I've never liked Mrs. Clinton, I'm afraid. I think she only wanted to be president. but there's no real democracy. It's a bit of a shell. Looks like it's working, but it don't work. I don't know a political system that would work, because when people get in power, they're corrupted. So all the good intention of helping a nation seems to be short-lived.
1:45 a.m. for Kiwi.
Oh, we boot our prime ministers. They get the arse kicked out of them regularly. I like the New Zealand Prime Minister, Jacinda.
Hey, there's your niece, girl.
Where's my Ella? Yeah, going. Dun, dun, dun. No
You've got
leotards on tonight.
You've got no leggings on.
Oh, my phone's gone all floppy. Just my phone. Yeah, politics is wrapped around bullshit. Backhanders, lobbyists. Yeah. It's going well. It's cold. It is cold tonight. Down to 9 degrees, I think. Or has it dropped even further? Oh, no, it's 9 degrees. But it's not too bad. Not like Kiwi is. It'd be bloody cold where Kiwi is. I know high country fly fishing was out the other day, and it was
Snowing.
wet snow up in the high country around Canterbury. And I've been through wet snow. I don't like wet snow. It's nasty. You come home all wet and freezing. I know you think I can hear you, but I can't. She whispers stuff. And it's like, yeah, her lips are moving, but
I said it's very quiet. You don't want to wake the neighbours.
yeah, she seems real down to earth, Kiwi. I've met 2 Prime Ministers in my lifetime from Australia, Bob Hawke and John Howard. One I told to go and get fucked, and it wasn't Bob. Bob passed away about 2 months ago. He had a fair in his own. He was 88, I think. 25, beautiful. Like I said, I'd take 30 every day if they gave it to us.
Yeah, but the water won't be 25.
No, the water will be cold still. Think about the Northern Hemisphere, the water never really warms up.
I still wouldn't go in the water. Oh, thanks, Danny.
Danny, she's doing one of what is our favourite castle we visited while we were there, Warwick Castle. When you see it, you'll see why. Just beautiful.
That's where the birds of prey were.
Yep.
Oh, they were magnificent. I was so hoping one would land on me, but it didn't.
Big owls, monsters.
I want to cuddle an owl.
Yeah, Bob didn't mind a drop. That's what I had when I made a beer with Bob. But it's just actually, a lot of people think Shakespeare had something to do with royal connections, and nothing could be further from the
Yeah,
truth.
I thought Shakespeare lived in a castle too, but the home was just as nice. No, it's small, but yeah.
Bob Hawke was a Prime Minister in our country in the 80s to the early 90s. He did some reformations to this day. One includes people having superannuation, or you call it a 401k in America. The other is healthcare, and then recognition of Aboriginal rights in this country. So there was a lot of fundamental changes under Bob Hawke. A lot of Prime Ministers come and go, and they don't have any legacy other than, you know, they were arseholes. So there's only been a few.
I thought I heard the bee.
No, can't see him.
No, it wasn't a shack pit.
Oh, no, it's a nice
Actually,
house.
yeah.
I mean, in the mid-1500s, it would have been a flash place. Pretty big. I'm sure some of mine were too, Kiwi. You could do an ancestry.com on Boit. None of it would be true, but you could do one.
Go on, you kill me.
Like you could say, all right, yeah, Juice and Skiwi. Oh, they're obviously related.
And the funny thing
Who was
is,
their child? Oh, RSC Bully.
'Cause
Yeah,
what-
I'm just kidding. You know what I mean? You could do a funny Boit Ancestry.com.
what's the conspiracy theory? Because we've got a modern day Anne Hathaway, and that's who William Shakespeare married, an Anne
Yep,
Hathaway.
that's true. Anne Hathaway.
And the nowadays Anne Hathaway's husband apparently is supposed to splitting image of William Shakespeare. It's
William was
all
pretty
there.
ugly, by the way. He had a big bald head,
But, you know,
but he didn't live in a B-class van
I just come across it online.
or B-class carriage or anything like that. No, his house was pretty good. I was very fortunate. I took a photograph when there was no one in front of the house
That was damn
because there were
lucky.
thousands of people there. Yeah, Bully is on, what's it, the 11th? He's still got 19 days probation, and then he gets released back into this hangout, but he only has to overstep the mark 1 inch.
What he's running around
He's forever banned.
telling everyone that VMAX,
Maybe he's right, VMAC. You come from Transylvania. Yeah?
Yeah, just say Transylvania. That's a place I'd love to go. Transylvania.
Why?
Oh, because I would. I'd love to go there.
It's not really the home of vampires.
I know that, but it'd still be fun to go to the Dracula castle they've got there.
It was, what was his name? Vlad the Impaler. He just liked to kill a lot of people. Someone looked at me funny. Kill him. Stick him on a pike.
Oh, it'd be cool to go there.
Yeah, he's having a very limited run at the moment. The castle is very unimpressive. What castle?
Which castle? Awesome. The one in Transylvania.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, it's a bit daggy.
Oh, is it? So what, they make it look good on TV.
Yeah. He was a nutter, there's no question about that. And what he used to do to people, terrible. Big spike up the bum, out the side of your neck, and stick you out in the street for a couple of hours before you passed
But
away.
isn't there something else about him?
Oh, he's just crazy.
How could he have a good side doing that? But didn't he have a... No, I'm thinking of some other olden day person.
Yeah, I can talk in Bongo Van's chats. What he did, he made the mistake of going to someone else's hangout and tried to ban them there. All he did was block him seeing us, which is quite funny.
Yeah, I thought that Kiwi, he was a hero in Romania, but nowhere else.
Yeah, Romania. Hasn't got many things you could say were good about Vlad the Impaler. Mind you, I mean, like, we talk about atrocities in our living time. There's been many. But they don't really compare to some of the stuff that used to happen in olden days.
Get colder.
You know, raise the whole city to the ground, kill everybody. Everybody. Atlanta, Georgia getting a cup of Joe. Texas style. Cup this damn big. Stick a head in there. Yeah, it was certainly a case of people took opportunity. If it happened to be stealing someone's pigs and killing them for the privilege, well, no one's around. Many things have been atrocities on this planet. We are very fortunate to be living, if you think about it, because of all the trials and tribulations of our ancestors. By some chance,
That's
our
great.
ancestors snuck through, and we're living proof of their existence. We are the sum of many of our ancestors. I'll have that discussion one night with you. I started at about 6 months to start talking about it, but our brief outline was, I believe we're definitely genetically handed down DNA, but I truly believe we're also handed down memory DNA. May only be in portions or in part, but I don't see any reason why memories of our ancestors are not handed down to us. We sometimes call them dreams.
Tell them they're dreaming.
You off to the loo, Petal?
No.
She's disappearing inside. Are we going to see the hands on the window? Yeah, see, I told you. She can't help herself. Spooky. The hands of death. With that braised steak and onions, gotta tell you. Unbelievable.
Huh?
Braised steak and onions. Onion gravy. So I swear to you, I could just get the onion gravy and get a piece of toast. Just eat it like that.
I was still full from breakfast.
Good on you, mate. 16 for none after 4 overs.
That's Kiwi keeping you up to date.
He is, yeah. I think if by miracle Australia got through, they could beat New Zealand. But I think if England get through, New Zealand will win the World Cup. That's what I believe. But I could be wrong. So what's been happening on the wonderful world of boy? I did catch up with Blinky a bit today. She's doing well. Doing it a bit tough financially, but she's still here breathing and kicking. That's the best reward you could ever ask. Yeah, if I went to Canada, I'd certainly go and watch an ice hockey game.
Oh yeah, that'd be interesting.
It's not quite as tough as our Australian rules, but it's a bit of biff.
I think it can be just as tough.
No, they wear padding, the
Yeah, but
girls.
They're,
They wear bloody padding
they
over
have
there.
that stick. That can hurt. Or that puck or whatever it's called. Put.
It's a pup.
Oh yeah, Blinky's doing real well, awesome. Her speech has improved so much. Not awesome, use the L word.
What you say, like?
You're still in therapy over that, aren't you?
Oh, awesome.
You.
No, I'm good. I describe what a high New Zealand on a winning sports can do. What's today's country spirit? Oh yeah, absolutely. Same in our country, mate. But also, I'm going to give you a lesson, what I believe, why I don't use that other word loosely.
Yeah, we know.
The reasons are very simple for me. It's like, if you said it to everybody, when does it become important?
But that's why we.
I'm not having a go here, but you know what I mean. If you say it to everybody, when does it become important?
Well, we have.
That's my logic behind
We
that.
have this
I
discussion.
say it all the time to this angel over here.
We have this discussion often. There is different forms of love. I told you that's why you're in therapy. There's love your neighbours, love thy neighbour. That's a 10 commandment.
Thou shalt not covet neighbour. That means you mustn't steal his budgie.
I know, awesome.
But no, like I say, that's the only reason.
He gets dirty.
If you say it to everybody, when does it become important? It becomes malaise or mundane.
I'm going to do Snapchats just on that.
What the world needs now
Is love.
is like sweet light.
Love, sweet love.
It's the only thing. It's such little love.
That's right, awesome.
Yeah, that's why I like rugby. Get into it. Nothing wrong with a bit of biff. I had plenty of punch-ups on a footy field, my goodness. But after the game, you go and have a beer with a bloke you smacked in the nose. It's quite normal. Only on the field, see? He will try and get you back, though. The old white line fever comes back next time you meet. Bit of biff. Where did that one come from? Oh, that's right, I remember. I biffed you in the last game. Let's try something that I tried the other day, but your favourite movies. I don't say movie because it's too hard to pick one. What are your favourite movies? Some of mine are a bit weird.
Oh, welcome back, Danny.
One of mine would be 2001: A Space Oddity.
No, not
That was a good movie.
and Night at the Roxbury.
She loves Night at the Roxbury.
The Sixth Sense.
She's trying to get all technical on me now. Awesome says, I make it more important when I show you I like you. My actions increase the importance.
That's right, Awesome. I'm with Awesome.
Actions do speak louder than words, though. Goodfellas, that was a good movie. Night of the Living Dead.
Oh my God, Lee Mac.
Actually, I like Lon Chaney. A lot of his old movies. Belle de Guzzo. Names that have drifted off into time. Vincent Price, of course. Vincent used to have a radio show when I was a kid in the UK. It would be, welcome, my name is Vincent Price. Relax. Put another log on the fire. The story will go a while. And then it would be horror story. Great stuff. Main radio is what I grew up on. Didn't see television until about 2 weeks before the moon landing. I did a version VMAC on my channel, not The Raven as in Vincent Price, but I did one called The Raven. It's on my channel if you want to have a look.
The Birds. Oh yeah, that was
Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds,
that's
very good movie.
spooked me actually.
Gregory Peck. What was the lady's name on that? Can't remember. Always thought it was funny. Gregory Peck and Birds. Could be wrong. Was it not Gregory Peck?
I don't know who starred in that.
Yeah, there's lots of good movies. I like a few movies that Robin Williams was in, because I always admired him as an actor. From a comedian to a very serious actor, very good. We lost him far too early.
They never really came out with the full story on Anthony Bourdain's death, did they?
No. We know how he died.
Was
We know who found him.
he hung himself? Who found him? His
Well,
producer.
it was one of the guys that he was doing the series with. I don't know if it was the producer or one of the other chefs. But very sad. I admired Anthony Bourdain. He didn't hide his struggles with depression, though. He would often tell you. Tippi Hedren? Not sure. Charlie Chan, Imitation of Life, What Dreams May Come,
Oh,
To Kill
yeah.
a Mockingbird.
What Dreams
Good
May
movie.
Come. That was a brilliant movie. Also.
There was a movie you used to like, but it was a scary one, something about children in the attic. Do you remember that?
Oh,
Was that the name of the movie?
That's Flowers in the Attic. That wasn't scary. That was based on a true story. They ran Virginia Andrew books, but then then she started going way off the other end. Flowers in the Attic was based on a true story. Virginia Andrews wrote it. Then she had a series of Petals and other books that carried on from these children's lives.
Yeah, Danny says Flowers in the Attic affected me. It brought home a lot of home truths because it was really a true story.
Because that was a true story, and
Or based on a true story.
now my daughter's reading all her books. But when Virginia Andrew died, she left a lot of books unwritten. Her sister finished them, but now I don't know how it works now because she's been dead a while. But there's still Virginia Andrew books coming out, new ones.
I used to read a lot of books. I don't read that much now.
See, I said I love you all in them. Awesome. Said
Did
she
you?
loves me in that.
The like is strong. Use the like. On Golden Pond, of course. Henry Fonda.
Christopher Lee.
It was a good movie on
Yeah.
Golden Pond. Yeah, some of the old movies I like are they're well made. Like Mockingbird was a great movie, well made on Golden Pond. That wasn't that long ago, but an older movie. The Long Channies, Bela Lugosi, Vincent Price. Boris Karloff, not so much, I'll be honest. Okay, but never really convinced me, Boris Karloff. But if I had to pick my favourite comedian, it's a hard push for me between two. One is an Irishman and one is a Scotsman. Some of you would remember Dave Allen, the Irishman. Very funny. Very funny. And of course, probably just pipping him in my list of best comedians would be Billy Connolly.
Yeah.
And then probably in third would be the Python Group. So that's where my humour lies.
And I can't remember One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I can't even remember if I've actually seen it.
Yeah, one scene in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yeah, The Shining was a good movie.
Oh, The Shining was a brilliant movie.
But do you remember the old Indian in the mental institution pushing the broom?
Spike Milligan. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Spike Milligan.
I used to have his books.
On Spike Milligan's gravestone it says these words. I told you I was sick. I'm not kidding you. Or told you I was ill, one of those two, but that's what Spike put on his gravestone. But the old Indian in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, that scene, just, he'd definitely be a boy, janitor, for sure. No, I wasn't keen on Girl Interrupted. We've got all our own tastes, that's for sure. Probably, do you remember you guys that are a little bit older than average? That's not saying anything nasty.
You're the oldest,
But
yeah.
the old drive-ins when you used to go there on a Friday night and they'd have a double horror movies. Do you remember that? The double horror movies Friday night. Pull the speaker in, wind it up. They always seemed to do horror movies during the winter, so it was cold, so added to the the climatic. But some were awful.
Broke Down Palace. Why do I know that name? Broke Down Palace.
Sling Blade. Call that a knife?
I don't know. Sling Blade, huh? I don't know Sling Blade.
And there was a TV series that I actually thought was very, very good. This is going back, I think, to the early 80s. Kunta Kinte. What was the name of the series? It's like a quiz night, isn't it? Kunta Kinte. What was the name of the series? Horror movies. Blake's getting a chance for a feel.
Roots. Yes, that was a good
You
one,
got it.
Bucky.
VMAC was first with Roots.
No, well, my
Kunta
screen,
Kinte.
Bucky was first.
We've lost some good actors in recent years. Do you remember I forget his real name, but he played the African American in The Green Mile. Boss, I gotta talk to you, boss.
That was a good movie, Green Mile.
He was quite a good actor. I'm older than Hooker. Remember the drive-in, Elm Street? Played, oh yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. Jason.
Cleopatra Jones and Foxy Brown.
So here's one of my favourite movies. Laugh if you want to. The 10 Commandments. Went for about 16 hours. No, it didn't. Went for about 3 and a bit hours.
No, it felt like...
And in fact, when I watched it, I was a kid, and they had intermission. Go and get a cuppa, something to eat, then you come back. Yep, Heston was in that. Yep. Shawshank Redemption. Yep. Very, very good movie. But it's usually the actors in movies that make them memorable. I often think about movies and if I, in my mind, replace them with someone else, and it wouldn't work. In other words, certain actors are picked for certain reasons. Like, my name is Morgan Freeman,
Oh, what's that?
and the only acting I do is I play God.
Yeah, he's good.
Yes.
I like it. Fargo's another one of my favourite movies. I love that movie, Fargo. Black comedy, that one. I think that was I think that was set in Canada.
Fargo.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always take the piss out of Canadians in shows like that.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
They'll be standing there together, the two officers, and they'll go, "Yeah, I think he's dead." You think so?
USA.
Could
what,
be.
Fargo?
Was it?
No. I don't know. I'm a bit lost now. Fargo. I thought it was set in Canada.
Can have a paper, please, lass.
My other favourite TV show was
Full Metal Jacket.
Northern
Yep.
Exposure. I'd love to go there, wherever that was filmed.
I think that was Alaska. I'm just guessing. But North Dakota.
Oh, North Dakota.
The Castle. You've seen the Australian movie The Castle, have you, Hooker?
Oh, yeah. That's a good movie.
Australian classic. A lot of colloquial language in there. You learn a lot about Australia with the language they used.
I met the actors out of that show. I actually had a barbecue with them. They came to my house
Yep.
from the castle.
Yep.
Emily must have been about, how old was she? 3 or 4 years old, and I've got a picture of what's the old guy? What's his name?
I'll think about it in a sec.
Oh, the main actor in the castle.
What do you call that, love?
Yeah, I've got a picture of Emily sitting
Chopper Reed.
sitting on his lap.
Yes, A Lovable Rogue was Chopper. The Code. That Code was the recent movie, wasn't it? About being kept alive in a military facility, and then eventually he
Didn't you
found his
watch
way
that?
into the real world.
Yeah, I watched bits.
Sea Patrol.
Oh my God.
See, I grew up on some American shows, classics, absolute classics. One had a character in it called Agon. What was the name of the show? Late 60s, early
Yeah.
70s?
Telling he's dreaming. Dad.
I'll give you a clue. Da-dum, da-da-dum, da-dum, dum, 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 da-da-dum, dum, dum, da-da-dum, dum, 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 da-da-dum, da-da-dum, dum, dum. Come on.
Oh my God, Blue Heelers.
Corporal Agon,
Oh, Danny, I can't remember.
Sergeant O'Rourke, Captain Parmiter. And I played this, I hummed the theme of the show. I used to have
Rain
it.
Man,
I used to have my dinner. That's it. Awesome. You got it. F-Troop. But you said for troop. It must be the accent. Must be a little bit
She's
like Spagologonobogonese.
Awesome's clever.
F-Troop.
She's a hell of a lot younger than you, and she knows a lot.
F, not 4. Yes, my Apple iPhone changes words like you wouldn't believe. But there was another show. That used to be my dinner time show. F-Trip come on about 5 o'clock. But there was another show.
Gilligan's Island. Oh God.
Yeah,
I
no,
remember
Gilligan's
that.
Island was funny. But here's the clue of the show I probably like the best out of the US. Same era, 60s, 70s. 4077 is the clue I'm giving you.
4077.
Mm-hmm.
MASH was a good show, yes.
Bing, bing. Yeah, you all picked on that one. Yes, very funny. And serious. And funny. And meaningful. And deep. And funny. Very, very clever.
That was my mum's favourite show.
Yep. What was the name of the wireless operator? Let's test your memories. What was the name of the wireless operator? Or his nickname, if you like.
Radar.
Unbelievable!
Yeah, I got a question right. What
Well,
do
I
win?
reckon Awesome got it at the same time you did.
Yeah, what do
Radar.
I win?
And there was a certain female nurse who had a nickname in MASH. Who was she? And what was she called?
I know.
Oh, she wants to jump the gun here. Bing, bing. Bucky gets it. Ella says radar. No, he didn't have hot lips.
Hula hips.
Hot lips,
Oh, hot
Houlihan. That's
yeah.
the one. All right, last quiz question on MASH.
Hitler was awesome.
The real actor's name is Alan Alda. What character did he play?
I know, spell check's a pain.
The real actor's name was Alan Alda. Bing bing, Bucky gets it again. Hawkeye Pierce. But Hawkeye was indeed his nickname. I've met a lot of American ex-servicemen,
Hey,
and
buddy.
they do the same as Aussies. They nickname each other. Very common.
Yeah, if you've got red hair, you get called Blue.
Buddy Bopper jumps in with Hawkeye Pierce. Correct. I think Donald Sutherland's a very good actor myself. Yes, he did. That's right, before the show. That was a good movie too. Last of the Mohicans. There's a couple of good Aussie movies. The Pelican Boy, that's
Yeah.
late 70s. Movie called The Pelican Boy. That's a good movie. There's been quite a lot of local Australian movies which probably don't have much relevance on a world stage.
I don't know, has anyone ever heard of the movie A Town Like Alice? Does anyone know that movie? Probably not, probably because it's an Australian movie.
Mad Max, the first one, yeah. So we can blame Donald, is that what you're saying, BMAC? Well, our healthcare system like yours is not too bad.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
What did you love, Awesome? Have you heard of the movie A Town Like Alice? Or Mad Max?
Yes, you did, Bobby, that's right.
Town Like Alice. I can't...
Yep, World War II.
Was it? Oh, I'm only saying it because my mum was actually an extra in that show.
Mm. You'll have to pick it out of the 12,000 extras that were in there, but yeah, see, I could never get my eyes and my ears around Three's Company and Laverne and Shirley. What was the main actress in that?
I didn't realise that, buddy. I didn't realise he died that quick after. Oh, yeah.
Movie and book. But there's, like I say, we've lost a lot of very good actors. As you get older, of course, the perchance is that lots of good actors die, but we have lost a lot in the last 10 years. Some I didn't know of. I watched a video on YouTube recently. It said actors you may not know
Yeah.
have passed away.
Yeah. It
And
was,
I'm thinking, oh wow, I didn't know he'd gone. But they do, and regularly.
Hey,
Nicholas,
Nicole.
good evening. Good morning. Actually, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yeah, it was. That's right. Now, who was the director? He's gone on to make. He was in Happy Days, but Ron
Howard.
Howard went on to be a very good director. But see, I grew up on English shows, and I'm sure Nicole wouldn't know some of them. One of them was called Z-Cars. I grew up on Doctor Who.
Ella, Seeds has never done voiceovers. I keep telling him that he should apply for them, that he should do them.
No, I swear to you, this is true. I was approached many, many years ago to work for a radio station.
He was approached once through
But they didn't pay
YouTube.
very good in those days, so I didn't bother.
You remember that company approached you through YouTube and you didn't follow through?
Yeah, a company approached me through YouTube. They'd watched a couple of my storytelling and monologues.
Morgan Mindy loved that. I loved that. Awesome.
Dum, 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 woo, woo.
I never thought much of Alf, the series Alf, though. You know,
Nah, yeah, I
is
didn't
that
like
what it was
Elf.
called?
Yeah, the puppet.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I liked Happy Days. No.
That's my favourite English show. Brian, and of course the sexiest woman in the world. Tell him who it is, Nicole. Tell him who the sexiest woman in the world is, and she's still doing TV shows. You know who I'm talking about? Oh yeah, Father Ted.
Yes, Father Ted.
Oh, Father Ted. What do you call them holes in donuts?
That was another one of Mum's favourite
Steptoe
shows.
and Son. No, not Helen Mirren. No. Nicole knows who I'm talking about. Brian Briers was the male actor. and Felicity Kendall was the hottest thing in the 70s. Trust me.
The Warriors, yes, Danny, that was good.
But Father Ted's always funny, the old bloke, and I'm going, what? Thick off. Thick. Yes, she must be close to 70, I think, now, Nicole.
Dame Edna, just haven't heard from her for a while.
No, he's coming back. Barry Humphries, yeah.
Yeah.
That all started from an Australian show. The Adventures of Barry Mackenzie. 72, yeah. No, she was a stunner in the 70s. Voted most sexiest actress in the world at the time, I believe. Of course, Diana Rigg and Steed. That show was called The Avengers. The original Avengers, not the Ponzi one made later on. And in one of the funniest English shows, without doubt, had a famous saying, right? You're going to have to, Nicole will get this one, but you may not, the rest of you. I'm free.
Oh my God, that was a good show.
I'm free, Mr. Humphries.
What was that called?
I know what it was called. I'm asking him that
I
question.
can't remember. That was a really good show. What was it called, Nicole?
Come on, Nicole, you should know that one.
That was
Had
so
John Inman in it.
funny.
Molly Sugden.
Are you being served?
That's it, Kiwi.
right.
Are you being served? Yeah, that was funny. Always Mrs. Sugden would say, oh, I've got to go home and wash my pussy. What are you talking about, that saying? Well, my cat, of course.
Always double meaning.
We lost John Inman probably 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh yes, keeping up appearances, awesome, yes.
Does anyone remember Steptoe and Son? Oh yeah, Norman Gunston. He's famous actually, Norman Gunston, Australian comedian, standing on the steps of Parliament while Gough Whitlam gave his famous speech. Literally, he's next to him holding a microphone.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah. We like Faulty Towers.
May God save the Queen, because nothing will save the Governor General. Moments in political history of Australia. No, Steptoe and Son never got remade. The Harold, the young actor in it, he actually died of a heart attack at about age 42. Yeah, and of course that one, I know what she's talking to. Remember Renee?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
Renee, I love you.
Yeah.
What are you holding that woman by her buttocks? I'm trying to teach you CPR, woman, you stupid woman.
No, the policeman in that. I loved him.
Faulty Towers, very funny. But what was the show I'm referring to? Renee and a policeman who
The
spoke
French policeman.
bad French. He would say, I was pissing by the door. So Sanford and Son is a reference to Steptoe.
Yes, yes.
I shall
Kiwi.
say this only once.
What was that called? What was that series called? Hello, hello.
That's it. I've been
Got
waiting for
it.
someone to answer it.
Hello, hello. I got it.
Oh yeah, Carry On. Oh yeah. I grew up on that stuff. Kenneth Williams was a brilliant character actor, but only in Carry On shows. He sadly took his own life. Lived with his mother, never had any true sort of partner, but very funny. Oh, matron. But Sid James, he was a bit of a character off screen as well as on screen. Wasn't much difference apparently. Matron. Yeah, Katie, what was her name?
I don't know. Can't remember her name.
Yeah, I'll think of it. Jacqueline was her name. Can't remember what her surname was. Oh, Awesome's got the headband on, the lycra pants,
Oh,
the Nikes, and she's got a run. That's one of my favourite shows, Kiwi.
Wilson. Oh, I've got to go and check my video.
Blackadder, Blackadder. Out of Blackadder came some tremendous actors.
Mr. Bean.
Mm. I believe, yes, Nicole, about to say, you just, it's going to be a bit different apparently, but it's showcasing the Blackadder years. Tony Robbins is now about 76 years of age. Of course, the others are still alive. Open all hours. What? Granville? That closed door. And then the nurse comes along. Hello, Granville. Is your father in? Forgot I'm going to be live after you. Oh, well, I'll get off. Awesome. You
That's
go
what
for
we're
it.
waiting for, Awesome. You have to put a linky.
This one that called Open on Air. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't like that. It's the same actor. You know, his best show was, for me, Nicole, Darling Buds of May. If you remember that show. If you haven't seen it, Google it on YouTube. Or just punch in Darling Buds of May.
See you later,
It's a
Danny.
beaut old series on UK television. Yeah, David Jansen ends up playing his father's role in the new one. I didn't like that. I watched 3 or 4 of the episodes, thought, nah, just didn't work. When you got something that's so good, like Faulty Towers, you couldn't replicate that.
Oh, VMAC, Midsummer Murders. I've got to tell you, my sister,
Every day, Midsummer Murders.
while we were looking after Mum, we were there for over 6 months. Every day, all day, Midsummer Murders. we got hooked in the end, didn't we?
Not much choice.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the Prelude channel of Hangouts, just to gather people together,
For Awesome.
give them their popcorn, their beverages, and then the curtains will open up. An awesome hooker.
Hang on, before you do that. Yes, Jonathan Creek, Nicole. I love that
What's
show.
the actor's name of Jonathan Creek? Come on.
Jonathan
No,
something.
his real name's not Jonathan Creek.
I called him Jonathan.
No, Nicole will know the real name of that. Anyway, I was just saying, the curtains are slowly being drawn back and the lights are going down a little bit. The Awesome Hooker Show is about to begin. So, ladies and gentlemen, Alan Davies is
That's
correct. You've got a good IQ,
Oh,
Nicole.
what was his name?
She'll get that. What do you mean, his name?
The guy who did IQ.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
They were good shows too.
You don't know his name?
Yes, the blanket show, Ella.
I'm going to make my lunch before AH comes on. See you in a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, the Awesome Hooker Show will be commencing shortly. If you have to go to the toilet, have a shower, clean the dog, cat, car, or even buy some groceries, be quick.
England cruising to victory says.
Oh, well. New Zealand win the World Cup. That's okay. Until next time, and head over to Awesome's, because she's got something very special tonight. It's incredible. Little teaser for you. See you there. Bye-bye.